Hello everyone, welcome to our Tuesday TNT, a beautiful bright sunny day with in fact no wind at all, it's just glass as far as I can see out there, but hopefully you're well wherever you are. And now we've got two hostage situations currently involving Thai people. Let's see if we can find out what's going on. We go to nationthailand.com and Myanmar, China agree to help Thai detainees return home. And the Myanmar government has promised a senior Thai police officer that it would repatriate 164 Thais captured and detained in a northern town of the neighbouring country. And the Myanmar government has promised a senior Thai police officer that it would repatriate 164 Thais captured and detained in a northern town of the neighbouring country. So got the idea yesterday that Surathat was going to go up there and escort them, a bit like the end of The Sound of Music, the Von Trapp family traipsing across the Swiss Alps back to safety. But no, it looks like it's a bit more complicated than that. And the Deputy National Police Chief visited Yangon on Monday and secured the assurance from Myanmar officials. And it looks like they met at the Royal Thai Embassy in Yangon. Apparently the hostages were accused of being members of call centre gangs. And Surathat said he'd explained to the Myanmar authorities that most of the 164 were victims of human trafficking gangs which had lured them and forced them to work for call centre gangs. And further down there, Surathat said Lao Kang is an area of armed conflict, so he decided to repatriate them to the northern border to Kunming in China first and then fly them home from China. And Surathat said the Chinese government had approved his request to repatriate the hostages across the Chinese border, but was yet to schedule the repatriation date with both the Myanmar and Chinese governments. So I figure that photo is Surathat and the Thai ambassador to Myanmar with their respective spouses. And from the Cowsod English Facebook page, the Royal Thai Embassy in Yangon provided the hostages with basic necessities. And during the process of categorising people, it was discovered that some were victims of human trafficking, others were linked to call centre gangs. So it looks like those hostages at least have been identified, and the Thai government now has assurances from the Burmese military and the Chinese government about the proposed repatriation. Now, checking on the other hostage situation, we go to nationthailand.com. All 23 Thai hostages safe and will be released soon. And the Prime Minister said he talked to the Chief of the Royal Thai Armed Forces on Sunday and was informed that all 23 Thai hostages were still safe. And Seta said the Chief of the Royal Thai Armed Forces had seen photos of the hostages. The Prime Minister said the negotiations were waiting for a ceasefire of 1 or 2 days to provide a window for hostages to be escorted from the Gaza Strip. And just reading some information about that particular conflict, that ceasefire may be a long way away. And a lead negotiator said Iranian authorities have confirmed the identities of Thai captives, and Tehran has informed him that Hamas was now ready to free them. But he said that Hamas was simply waiting for the right time and a safe route to escort the hostages out of the Gaza Strip. So again, in that particular situation, a lot of assurances, but no particular progress. Some 23 Thais still stuck in Gaza. Now, we should thank our sponsor, 5 Star Marine, who have been with us since day one. If you are going to Phuket and you want to go and visit some of the islands and check out some of the magnificent beaches and Phangar Bay, then I can highly recommend 5starmarinephuket.com. So time to check some of the latest financial stats for Thailand, see what the report card says. And BangkokPost.com reporting the Baht hits a 2-month high. It's been going up and down like a yo-yo over the past year, but well, it's always done that really. And the Baht traded at a 2-month high on Monday and is expected to remain strong until year end as the market considers whether the Federal Reserve might cut interest rates sooner than previously forecast in 2024. And the Capricorn Research Centre said the Baht traded in a range of 35.45 to 35.47 to the dollar on Monday, and that had eased a bit from a 2-month high of 35.41 baht last Friday. The South Korean won and the Indonesian rupiah led gains among regional peers compared with the USD. And the Thai currency hit a 10-month high of 32.57 to the dollar back in January and fell to an 11-month low of 37.24 to the greenback on October the 4th. And analysts say that the baht should remain strong in the last 2 months of 2023 based on seasonality, when high demand for the baht from tourism and export sectors usually pushes the currency to appreciate. So let's go to xe.com and see what's going on. And this is a graph that covers a whole 12 months, and you can see the highs and the lows there. And currently it's, well, somewhere in the middle. I know that's not terribly scientific, but that's sort of the current situation. And the BangkokPost.com reporting that headline inflation declines. And the headline inflation declined for the first time in 25 months in October, largely attributed to low energy prices and several government support measures. Apparently it decreased by 0.3% year on year in October. And the Director General of the Trade Policy and Strategy Office said the decrease was largely influenced by the decline in the prices of energy and consumer goods related to government measures aimed at reducing the cost of living. And in addition, the price of pork and fresh vegetables were lower than last year. And he said both the tourism sector and exports continue to post solid recoveries, while the country's economic forecast remains positive. There's no need to worry about possible deflation. So I suppose, in short, it's sort of steady as she goes for the Thai economy, according to those stories, both from the Bangkok Post. Thanks for dropping in on Tim Newton today. We do our daily news review from Monday to Friday. On Saturdays, we usually have a live program. Then on Sundays, our Grumpy Old Men program. Let's check in with nationthailand.com. Pubs, bars in only 3 zones in Bangkok can stay open till 4 a.m. So as the authorities and officials try and figure out how they're going to manage this 4 a.m. closing in selected areas, it looks like some of the details are slowly coming out. And according to the Bangkok Metropolitan Authority, they'll only extend operating hours for pubs and bars in 3 popular entertainment zones. They are Silom and Patpong, the Royal Avenue and New Phetchaburi Road, and Ratchada Pisek. And the extension of the closing hours of nighttime entertainment venues in the 3 zones will kick off from December the 15th, in line with the Prime Minister's policy. And the Bangkok governor said the new opening hours will only apply to venues that have received operating licences before the issuance of the directive or royal decree. And he added that pubs, bars and discotheques, now that's a word I really haven't heard for about 50 years, in other zones like Tonglo will still have to close at 2 a.m. But I love this last line saying that authorities will have to use artificial intelligence and algorithms to monitor the operations of entertainment venues. Would have thought a few well-dressed security officials could do a better job. How exactly would they use artificial intelligence and algorithms? I'm sure he was just trying to sound technically proficient to the media when sprouting that particular nonsense. Now it's time to talk pollution and air pollution in particular. We've got a few months coming up, usually from sort of January to May, which we'd call the air pollution season, particularly affecting the north and northeast of Thailand. BangkokPost.com reporting that Chiang Mai seeks a solution to smog. And as the smog season draws nearer, Chiang Mai tourism operators are urging the government to accelerate the passage of the Clean Air Act and implement other mechanisms to reduce pollution from the agricultural sector. And the president of the Chiang Mai Tourism Council said the PM 2.5 haze is a complicated problem. Well, no shit, Sherlock. And the model offers benefits for those who follow the rules and imposes punishments on those who do not. So we're waiting on the details and the passage of this apparent Clean Air Act. It hasn't been passed as yet. Well, they're going to have to do it quickly if it's going to help this particular year's air pollution season. And for instance, farmers who do not practice slash and burn farming should be rewarded by the government with support for their crops. And the law should also prevent forest burning by farmers who collect forest products to earn a living. And this can be achieved by finding them another job that earns more income. And other options include providing sufficient tools and equipment to reduce burning and smog, such as supporting air purifiers in communities and fire breaks during fire burning. This whole idea of providing air purifiers, it's really like pissing in the wind. And further down there, he said Chiang Mai University, in collaboration with private operators, aim to develop air purifier towers at several locations in the city. Well, their ability to make even the slightest dent in the overall air pollution problem is so minimal to be, really just a waste of time. However, operators remain worried about the perception of Chiang Mai as a city beset by heavy air pollution, especially among long-stay visitors and digital nomads. Well, it's earned that reputation after years and years of increasingly bad air pollution. And he said that Chiang Mai tourism is gradually recovering thanks to a rising number of foreign arrivals and domestic tourists, with several festivals planned during the high season, such as Loy Krathong. I think that happened at the end of November. Not particularly sure how we'll be celebrating Loy Krathong here at Turtle Beach. It'll be my first Loy Krathong. Got a huge body of water out the front called the Andaman Sea. I don't know if they launch them there or if they find a nice little quiet waterway somewhere around the community. We'll soon find out. Let's move on to ThaiPBSWorld.com. They're reporting that Samut Prakan has the world's 9th worst air quality. Samut Prakan just to the sort of south and east of Bangkok, including Suvarnabhumi Airport. And Bangkok's neighbouring province of Samut Prakan has been ranked having the world's 9th worst air quality. And the place has not enjoyed a single day of good air quality in 12 months, according to House Fresh, a publication focused on air quality. And House Fresh offers advice on how to tackle air pollutants in the home through how-to guides, product reviews, advice and original research on a variety of factors that affect air quality. I think I'm doing an ad for House Fresh at the moment, but let's get to the details. The 10 cities with the worst air pollution are Baghdad, Patna and Jaipur in India, Kampala, Isfahan, Gandhinagar in India, Lanzhou in China, Samut Prakan, obviously in Thailand, and Chandigarh in India. And apparently Australia has the best air quality in the world, with Perth, Wollongong, Sydney, Adelaide and Canberra having good air quality throughout the year. Other cities with the most good air days include Zurich, Reykjavik, Honolulu, Newcastle and Auckland in New Zealand. And countries with the cleanest air, apart from Australia, include Switzerland, Iceland, the United States and New Zealand. So I haven't seen this House Fresh website. I'll probably go and check it out, but we usually use iqair.com as we measure the air pollution problem here in Thailand throughout the year. Now, to this story in Nation, which is somewhat connected, nationthailand.com reporting that Thailand is on course for the hottest and driest year. And an expert on the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is forecasting an unusually warm cool season from November to February for the country, followed by extreme heat in April. He says that average temperatures in the hot season would be 1.5 Celsius higher than normal. He says although average temperatures for the past 3 years from December to April have been lower than normal, that would change this year, predicting a rise of almost 2 degrees Celsius from normal levels over the next few months. He warned of possible drought over the next few months, citing the prevailing El Niño conditions, and the irrigation capacity of the Chao Phraya River Basin is about 62%, significantly less than the 78% in 2022. And yep, we've had plenty of rain during the wet season, but it doesn't look like it's fallen in the correct places to collect and fill up those dams. And the extreme hot weather will also trigger forest fires in the north, PM 2.5 smog and heat waves in urban areas. And he says as well as extreme heat in April, he predicted higher than average temperatures for the whole of 2024, citing the effects of global warming and El Nino. So I suppose we'll soon know whether those predictions come to fruition, but last year's April, I remember, was really, really hot, and you could certainly feel it. So I'll certainly be making preparations around these two little beach houses that I've just taken over to make sure that we can control the heat as best as we can when we get to that time of the year. And with that, I thank you very much for watching today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand. There's a link below in case you do want to rent one of the beach houses here on Turtle Beach. Also a 2 5-star marine and a special offer for TNT viewers. But we hope you have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.